get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy. I was like, man, his whole shape, rattling and rolling. He was like, I ain't saying it. This is what I'm saying in my mind. I'm like, I'm kind of shocked to see bro in a little barber shop with Hall. I'm like, Hall was like, White, come on. Come on. I look, I guess the lady went to the bathroom or something. He was like, come on. I walked in my cell. He was like, go in your cell. I was like, all right, I'm going, man. Yeah, I'm going, man. You ain't got to worry about that, man. I'm going, man. He was like, get in there now. Get in there now. I was like, all right, man. Went to my cell. I was like, all right, man. Walk, because I'm on the bottom 10 in the 40 building. I'm like, all right. I get to my cell. He closed the door himself. Boom. I'm like, this is crazy, man. I was like, man, this jump wild, man. I was like, yo, this is crazy right here. I couldn't expose what I saw, but I saw what I saw. You feel me? I saw what I saw, and I couldn't really expose it. I was like, yo, what they was doing in there? Like what's going on with this, man? So I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like before Hall left and they counted, like when he came by my cell, he walked by, and I know he was gonna do that same old double take look. He was like, as soon as he stopped, I was waiting for him like this at the door. He was like, he stopped. He didn't even expect to see me like this. He was like, as soon as he stopped, I'm already waiting on him. I'm like, he's cool. I'm like, what's going on with this, man? He was like, he just peeled off when he counted. You know what I mean? So he gone. That shit was out. I was like, this junk crazy. So the whole night I still was baffled. I was still like, yo, this is crazy. I scanned him. Like, he wasn't shake, rattle, and rolling. If they say he don't shake, rattle, and roll. I'm like, so what is he doing? So I'm like, man, let me find out Hall ain't no cop. So I was like, I ain't gonna sweat the jump, man. I ain't gonna sweat it, man. I ain't gonna sweat it. So next day roll around, we still on lock. This time around, I don't get to come out and work, but it's our last day on the lock jump. So I don't get to come out and work. Hall wasn't even there. But the next day when we came out after that, I seen bro from the 804. So we out, we go to breakfast. We off lockdown. I mean, everybody out, the whole building go to breakfast. I forgot what they had. So everybody out there, we moving around. I see bro, he like, hey, Weezy. I turn around, he like, hey, I'll let you real quick. I was like, I back up, I wait for him. He was like, hey, what's up? I was like, what's good? He was like, man, that job was crazy the other day, Shawty, you seen me, man? I was like, yeah, man. See, he trying to, like, he don't really want to say what he know he gotta say. But still though, like, he probably don't want me to get the wrong idea, but he trying to get it out, pause. But he talking, but he don't know how to say what he really want. So as he doing that, I'm just like, I'm kind of walking slow with him, but I'm like, side-eyeing him, y'all. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was like a side-eye game. I was like, he doesn't rock and roll. I'm like, so what's going on though, bro? You hey, what's up? Talk to me. He like, no, I'm just saying, like, look, you know what I mean? He was like, dap me up. I was like, so look, I'm saying, like, what's going on though, man? He was like, man, look, like, dap me up, bro, dap me up. I'm like, dap you up? You like, yeah, dap me up. I was like, I felt it, like when I dapped him up, I felt what I grabbed, pause. But I knew that I was holding Newports in my hand when I dapped him up, so I'm like, he was like, yeah, man. He was like, yeah, look, man, like, he been knowing me for years, like, you know what I mean? Like, I be telling him I don't get no help from the streets, so like, he was like, he ain't gonna bring no la-la, but you know what I mean? Like, I done broke him to bring me some packs. He'll bring me a pack every now and then. So that's all I was in there doing, man. Like, I just be waiting till everybody about to go home before we make that move. So I'm like, man, I get it, man. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, well, you good though, shawty. So I gave you 3 Newports though, because you ain't supposed to see him when you saw shawty. I was like, bro, hey, you ain't gotta worry about me though, man. I was like, but look, you sure you don't bring Lala? He was like, nah, shawty, he ain't bring no Lala. Nah, he ain't messing with that. He ain't messing with that, John. He was like, but nah, though, like, You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, but nah, bro. I'm like, man, Hall be acting like a real cop though, man. I was like, the whole time he in this junk getting to the bread, he was like, nah, he don't want no money. He just do that out of kindness of his heart. I promise you, he ain't charge me. I'm like, man, all right, man. I'm like, yo, that junk crazy though. He's like, man, call bro though. I told him he was gonna call when we get off lockdown. You called him yet? I was like, nah, we just got off lockdown. He was like, all right, call him. I'm like, all right, man. I dapped him up and went my way. Like, I got where he was coming from, man. Like, I didn't mean to catch C.O. Hall, but like, I caught him, man. And like, for real, I don't know how I feel about this. Because I rock with bro from the 804. But I'm like, man, like, Hall, man, like, for real, you think I don't see that bro was in the barbershop? Like, you got it mixed up, Hall. I'm about to see what's goody with you in a minute, so boom. That's what my bad conscience was saying. I wasn't really like to the point where that's my final decision, like I was about to do that. But still though, I'll be willing to y'all if I tell y'all a lot of maniac thoughts was going through my brain. Because I feel like when I catch police in an uncompromising situation like that, man, I feel like the ball in my court. Just like when they got the ball in their court, majority of the time when we in there. Like when the ball in my court, I'm gonna handle that stuff like Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the 97, 98 AI, man. That's how I'm gonna handle it, man. So like I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, but still though, my mind is not made up, man. So I was like, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call bro though. You know what I mean? So I waited till the dust cleared. I waited till everything cleared. Everything was straight. You know what I mean? Hall definitely isn't working. And I hopped on the horn. I got my horn back, hopped on the JD. So I called bro. First bro don't answer. I text him, hey, look, bro, it's T-Weezy, bro. It's for Susses too, man. Bro told me to holler at you. Da-da-da-da. Within 2 minutes, he's calling back. I'm like, oh, I see the numbers, the same number I just text. I answered, yo. And this time I got the touchscreen game, you know what I mean? This time around, I'm like, yo. He like, yo, what's up, bro? What's good with you, bro? You online in there? You got a jack? I said, bro, I done had a million jacks, bro. I said, I'm about to get ready to go to the crib soon, bro. I said, man, I ain't know you. He was like, man, I'm out here doing good, bro. I can't wait. You need to get out here. Joe Lovely out here, bro. Like, telling you, like, he was one of the first dudes that I saw. He was like one of the first dudes that I had known, you know what I mean, that went home and was really pushing that I want my own business, and he did his own business, you know what I mean? Bro had his own cleaning business. So he said he was out here thriving with that. He was like, bro, I got 3, 4, 5 different contracts, bro. He said, man, listen, I'm winning out here with this joint, man. He was like, man, I'm feeling good. I ain't never coming back there. And he was just informing me all the good news. So he was like, what's going on in there? I'm like, bro, everything normal, bro. I was like, yo, bro, that's crazy. I always wondered where you went to when, you know what I mean? When you left Sussex that time, like I never knew you came to Lawrenceville since 2000. He said, man, I was there a long time. He said, man, I was there from 2004 to 2013. He said, I went home from that jack. I said, man, that's crazy, bro. He said, man, everybody up there crooked. The women, the COs, the lieutenants, everybody, the whole, I said, bro, listen, I've been up here since '09. I said, trust me, I know the count, bro. Like, I know the count. He said, yeah, that joint, wow, man. He was like, who's still up there? He was like, what building you in? I was like, you know, me and bro in 40 building. I said, at first, I was in 30 building the whole time. I said, then they moved me to 60 building game. I was over there for a little bit. I said, but for real though, I'm in 40 building right now. He was like, 40 building. He was like, dude, Fat Boy Hall still work there? I'm like, yeah, he still work here. I was like, what hall are you talking about? Because it was a couple of same names of this person that I'm talking about. His name wasn't Hall, but I'm like, which hall are you talking about? He like, man, I'm talking about Hall, the tall one with the deep voice that's always being the cops. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I remember when he was a rookie. He a sergeant, yeah. I was like, man, this man still ain't a sergeant. He was like, man, he was there when I got there. I said, man, that man been working here since 03, 04. He said, man, that man been on Lawrenceville. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. So he like, look though, this is what I'm gonna tell you. He was like, man, he the cops. But he was like, he'll do something though. He'll definitely do something, man. I said, how you know? He said, man, because he was doing something for me and my homeboy. That's how I know. That's why I was asking you about him. He was the roller. I said, man, yo, go ahead with that, man. I said, nah. I said, but look though, this is what I'm gonna say though. I said, the dude, I said, it was crazy. I broke the story down to him. I had to. I said, yo, bro, that gave me your number. You know what I mean? I broke the ice. I was like, yo, bro, that gave me your number. I said, I ain't even gonna lie. Like I caught him in the barbershop, like he was ducked off with C.O. Hall. C.O. Hall was in there with the light on. I said, I thought they was in there shake, rolling and rolling. I said, but nah, they weren't doing that though, man. I said, man, Hall came out the jump to put me in my cell. I said, but like when he went into the pod, I said, I looked and I seen, bro, that's from Richmond. He was in the joint telling me to be quiet. Like he was trying to, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know what they was doing. I said, when we came off the lot, I seen bro said that Hall brought him some cigarettes. He was like, look, yeah, since you already, you know what I mean? Since y'all that talk. He was like, yeah, since y'all that talk, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like bro got him too. So that's why I would just basically let you know, because he was like, the way we played, we was at Lawrenceville, it ain't no just that's your roller. And no, the roller can deal with whoever he want to roll with. Like, it's up to you to be able to handle the roller. So like that's why I would just turn you on to He's a roller. He was a roller when I was in there, and he's a roller now. So I'm like, but they say he ain't bringing no la-la. He was like, yeah, he might not bring no la-la, but maybe phone and, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Tobacco, stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to see though, man. He was like, man, shoot your shot and tell him I sent you. I'm like, nah. I was like, nah, I ain't doing that, man. I ain't doing that, man. He was like, nah, do it, man. Do it, man. I was like, man, bro, I'm going to see. You know what I mean? He was like, bro, do it, man. Call me back when you do it, bro. I was like, man, I'm going to see, man. I don't know about that, man. I said, man, he might lock me up. He was like, nah, do it, bro. He said, what you think bro did? What you think bro did? I told bro to do it. I'm like, all right. I said, when I see him, I'm going to definitely pull up on him, y'all. So boom. It was great catching up with bro, though, man. We kicked it for a little bit more. It was great to talk to a guy that's on the street not doing violence, not out there hustling. He is out there succeeding the legit way. You know what I mean? He's getting money the legit way, man. I respected that, man. You know what I mean? But it was good to catch up with him. So I ain't even gonna lie. It was probably like 2 days that Hall was off. He finally come back. He come back. He do his first round. He do his first round and say nothing to him. So when everybody went outside that morning, everybody went outside. It was a nice sunny day. Everybody go outside rep. So I stayed in. So I was like, I'm gonna clean my cell. So I had my door open and I'm banging the music and I'm cleaning up. We can't do that anyway. We can't mess with the la-la while he working. So I'm cleaning up. So I'm cleaning my cell up. You know what I mean? But the whole time I'm waiting for him to come do his round. He gonna come do a round. So after everybody went outside rep, you hear, he come in finally. He doing his round. Hey, if you got anything on your light or window, you better take it down before I get there, or you get in the charge. Right now. This your final warning. I'm like, man, bring your crook ass up here, man. Hurry up, nigga. I'm like, this with the bro. You know what I mean? I'm cleaning up. He do his round. He get upstairs. He got to pass my joint. I'm like, this with the bro. I'm waiting for him to do his round. I'm just waiting, man. Come do a round, man. You know what I mean? He come by. He walk by. He see me out the music playing all that. He was like, hey, what? Turn at me. I was like, look. Hold on for a second. He was like, back up to the music. I was like, cut it down on my TV. I was like, hey, look, what's up with you though, man? He was like, what? I was like, what's up with you? He was like, he gave me a look like, I was like, what you looking at me for like that? He was like, what you mean, what's up with me? I was like, man, listen, man, it's a valid question. I'm just asking, what's up with you? Like, you know what I mean? Are me and you cool? Or you hate my guts? I'm just asking a question, Mr. Hall. He was like, I don't hate nobody guts. I say don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody on this planet Earth. I said, man, I can't tell, man. I said, the way you come around here and give us a hard time and take the stuff that we trying to have a good time with, you know it ain't no violence on this camp. You trying to take the little stuff that we having a good time with. You like, I'm doing my job, right? I don't got to explain to you how I'm doing my job. I could do my job and I don't got to explain to you about nothing. I said, yeah, you ain't got to do that, man. I was like, look, I understand that though, Hall, man. But I was like, what I'm trying to say though, man, ain't nobody perfect, man. He was like, ain't nobody perfect. I'm like, yeah, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. I said, the dudes out here in the pod, they are not perfect. I said, nobody's perfect, man. He was like, what you getting at, White? I was like, I ain't getting at nothing, man. But I ain't know you knew my homeboy, though. He was like, your homeboy. Who is your homeboy? I said, my homeboy name. He was like, how you know him? I was like, what you mean how I know him? He was like I say, how you know him? I said, man, we was on Sussex 2 together, man. I said, but I just talked to him recently, though. I mean, I just spoke to him recently and stuff. And he asked me, was you still working up here? And I told him, yeah. He told me to tell you that he sent me. He was like, all right, hurry up with that music. And he just kept doing his rounds. I'm like, yeah. All right, yeah, we on first base. I'll wait my turn. I can be a patient maniac, y'all. So boom. That's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna be a patient maniac. But at the end of the day, I broke the ice. I let him know I knew bro. I let him know that I was in the game. He knew I seen him in the barbershop, but I can't let that information out. Like I say, he said, yo, the bro that told me about Hall, he was like, bro, do you on that jump, man. So I'm like, man, it is what it is. Hall gonna have to holler at me. Like, he gonna have to holler at me, man. So I'm like, I'm trying to play it out like, you know, I'm short, so I don't really want to make the wrong move. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make my best move. I can't make the wrong move, but I'm sitting on some good stuff right now, y'all. Pause. Like, I'm sitting on a phone where I can really handle the business. I am sitting on money where I have made since I've been in that park, and I've been selling weight at the Lala. Like, I'm straight for real, man. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, so like, I'm just trying to I'm being greedy. Because any situation, another situation is a better situation. But I'm still thinking like a convict, even with 3 years left, because I'm thinking like, yo, if he bring the tobacco, he'll bring the lala. Like real talk. Like, yeah, I'll start him with that, and then I'm gonna turn him up. Like that's what I'm thinking. And y'all know I never really had a roller. So like I'm still trying to see how I'm gonna play this, man. But I'm like, I broke the ice. Now I just gotta see how it go. So I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I ain't say nothing to him no more that day. So they call lunch. I go out to salad port. I ain't even go to lunch when I'm out in the salad port. Everybody going to chow. I go holler at my man real quick. I ain't going. I'm talking to him. So I look. I see the dude from 804 from the Richmond that's in the other part that be messing with CO Hall. He see me. He like, hey, Weezy, come in, Shawty. I'm like, in the party? He like, yeah, you good. I'm like, man, I ain't messing with Hall. He was like, you good, Shawty. Just till they come back. I'm like, shh, when did they party? You know what I mean? Went in the jump. He sleep upstairs. He like, come on. He went upstairs. I follow him up the steps. His cell was like right off there by the handicap, getting his jump. He was like, hey, little Shawty, what you do to Hall, Shawty? I was like, what? He was like, what you do? I was like, bro, I ain't do nothing. He's like, what you say? I was like, bro, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, bro, remember you told me to call bro that was on Sussex 2 with us? He was like, yeah. I was like, man, he told me to holler at Hall. He was like, why would he do that? He know that I'm rocking with Hall. He said, man, listen, nobody care about a roller gonna do what they gonna wanna do. You know what I mean? He was like, true indeed, but he was like, he pulled up with me and was like, did White see you in the barbershop the other day? He was like, why? He said, because White just pulled up on me and told me he knows such and such. And he told him to get with me. So he was like, why the hell would White say that and how would he know? So I'm like, bro, listen, that's just how I went. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, bro, you good. He was like, for real, man. He was like, oh, just spook. He was like, man, but for real, he was like, you need to holler at him again on your own time and you need to kind of like iron the stuff out. He said, because he probably thinking, he looking spooked because he probably think. I said, man, either way, he don't need to be spooked about nothing with me, man. I said, even though he done been to cops to me a million times, man, I said, I don't got a badge, bro. I said, he ain't got to worry about nothing like that with me. I said, the only reason I'm inquiring and sticking my nose into places like that is because I'm trying to get in the car. That's the only thing I'm trying to do, bro. I said, I got a band. I said, if he trying to do something, I got $1,000 for his fat ass. He trying to make some real money. I got a band for his big ass, y'all. So boom. Bro was like, man, look, he ain't doing no lala. I done tried a million times. I said, man, look, I'm gonna shoot my shot. You know what I mean? I was like, but still though, he was like, but no, though. He said, I told him like, yo, I don't know Weezy seen us that day in the barbershop. You know what I mean? He was like, I told him, I don't know if you saw me or not. You know what I mean? He was like, but at the end of the day, he know you know now. So like, just be careful and shoot your shot better. He was like, he know the counter. So I'm like, all right, man. I chilled with bro. The child came back. And I shot back to my part. When I got back to my part, I kind of thought about what he said. It made a lot of sense. Like, yo, bro, like you might have scared him the way I did that. Now, bro told me to tell him that he told me this, he sent me or whatever the case. But I could have probably done it better. But at the same time, with me never having a roller, I was kind of inexperienced on how I should do this. I was trying to do it smart. I thought I was trying to do it without really like making them like think I was on some cop stuff. But either way, man, Hall just was a scary ass CO, y'all. So boom. So at first, man, like I just was like, man, you know what? I ain't messing with that. I ain't gonna say nothing to him. Then my other conscience was like, nah, bro, don't let it go. Like for real, this is your moment. You fell into this moment. Just like I tell y'all, I'm a route for magnets, man. Like it always come my way somehow. Like always, man. Like, this is one of those times. This is one of those times right here. So my bad conscience is kind of winning because I'm thinking like for real, like since I broke the ice, it gotta be more conversation to what me and him had to say. So I waited for a little bit more. I ain't even say nothing to him. I waited to he was about to go home and everybody was outside rec. I went out in the hallway and I seen him. He seen me, he was like, he double take when he seen me, he was like, and he knew I was walking up to talk to him. He was like, he did some shit like this. He was like he was an X-Men. He was like, I was like, he was like, go back in the pod. Go back in the pod. I said, you coming in the pod? He was like, yeah, I'll be in there. I ain't never heard him be that nice. He said, yeah, I'll be in there. I said, all right. I go back in the pod. I waited, just sat down there by the TV, watching TV, chill. Watching TV. Door open up. It's him. He come in, he like, he don't do no around. He go to the brick wall, he like, what? I walk to the brick wall, I'm like, hey, look, first of all, I'm apologize, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Look, I ain't even lie, Hall. I'm just trying to get some money, man. I got $1,000. I got $500. I got whatever you need, man. Like, I know you ain't messing with no lala. My man told me that. But if I can get some tobacco, I'm cool with that too, man. He was like, if you can get some what? I was like, I looked at him because he was thinking before he said it. He was like, if you can get some what? I said, man, I'm just trying to get some tobacco, man. Like, my homeboy sent me. You used to mess with my homeboy, man. So come on, man. I said, you already know I be getting money, Hall. You ain't stupid. I said, if you ain't here moving the pack, you already know I'm one of the ones in the pod. He was like, he said, you think I don't smell la-la? Sometimes I be walking by your cell white. I said, man, look, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do about none of that shit what you just said. I said, if you smell the la-la, I said, that's because I am the la-la. That's why you smell it, man. Real talk, man, because I am the la-la. So I was like, look, if you ever want to change your mind and bring some la-la, I said, what is it going to take for you to bring 4 zips in here? He was like, 4 zips? I'm like, yeah, 4 zips, man. He was like, I ain't bringing 4 zips of shit. Yeah, how about that? I ain't bringing 4 zips of shit. I was like, oh, man, like, I said, why you saying it like that? He was like, say it however the fuck I want to say it. And I don't know who your man think he is to get you to come pull up on me about any goddamn thing. This is my motherfucking world you living in, white, and don't you ever forget it. And they walked off. The nigga went and hit the button. The nigga said, psh. The nigga walked out the salad port, turned around, looked at me one last time, and was like, the door closed, and I was like, psh. I was like, this motherfucker, y'all. So boom. I was heated, man. That's word. I went back to the cell. I called bro. Got on the phone. I was like, yo, bro, man, what's up with this cop ass nigga, man? He was like, yo, look, he used to be a real cop. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, he used to be a real cop, man. He was like, the nigga just paranoid, man. I was like, bro, this man just told me he ain't doing shit. He don't care who sent me. This is his world and I'm living in all type of shit. He said, man, Weezy, I don't know what you done to him, man. You said you ain't do nothing. I said, man, I ain't do nothing to him. I said, I told you how I caught that awkward situation when he was in the barber shop. You know what I mean? He was like, man, look, man, that shit crazy. I don't know what you did there, bro. He was like, man, fuck it then, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe it ain't for you, bro. I was like, yeah, you right. I said, fuck it. Everything ain't meant for me. Sometimes you gotta let it go. It feels like another love TKO. So boom, forget him, man. That's how I'm thinking about it, man. So I went on about my day. He did his little couple of days and he dipped off his little couple of days off. So he came back the weekend. Like every other weekend, we would get his maniac police ass. So he come back for the weekend. He come back during the weekend and shit got down. He come in and do his same rounds. Hey, you got anything on your lighter window? Take it down and you get a charge. This your last warning. He came back with that same bullshit. That's how we know it's him when he come on. We like, this fucking cop. That's my word, man. I'm like, yo, I got up. I looked down the jump. I said, yo, what they got on the menu for breakfast, man? Nigga was like, man, they got them stale ass pancakes, Weezy. I'm like, man, I ain't going to that shit. Lay down. Word, my roommate hopped up. I seen him brush his teeth. He got his shit together, you know what I mean? It was breakfast time, so everybody just was in the pod. So I'm still behind the cut, chilling, you know what I mean? I know I'm about to take the cut down as soon as they leave, because if he come by and see me with the cut, he gonna take the cut. I gotta go through all this maniac shit, man. So I'm just sitting there like, damn. So I'm still up. I ain't go back to sleep. I'm looking at Sports Center. I'm just looking at that shit. Goddamn, my celly goddamn still at the toilet, brushing his teeth and shit, getting himself together. So goddamn, he was like, yeah, bro. My celly was like, hey, Weezy, you ain't gonna come, man? Let me get the tray, Weezy. I was like, man, I ain't coming to that shit, bro. I don't even feel like walking over there for that shit, bro. I ain't going over there, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I catch you next time. He was like, man, all right. So he dipped out. I was just like, damn, like the noise of the pod that be in there before they exit for child. Sometimes it gets loud. You can't sleep. Like, you put your headphones on, you can block them out. But I'm just waiting for that shit to leave. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, what's this shit be over with, man? Tired of hearing this shit. Damn. Next thing you know, you hear the lady say, exit out for child. Exit for child. Child time. Time for child. Next thing you know, you hear the noise going out. Noise leaving out, but the noise is getting lighter and lighter. Noise is getting lighter and lighter. After a while, the noise is kind of stopped, so I knew they was gone. I'm like, damn, finally, man. I'm like, man, shit. I got them laid back down now. Like, man, shit, try to get me a cat nap real quick. As I lay back down, I hear my door open. So I come behind the cut. So as I come behind the cut, I seen him with C.O. Hall. He was like, that nigga had like a fucking fat cat burglar in my cell. I was like, he was like, yeah. I was like, I heard my door close. Boom. I was like, man, I looked up. He brought me 2 packs of Newports, y'all.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.